Slowly, mankind has been able to push their limits on what they know, and we explore the tallest mountains and the deepest seas in search of knowledge. Sometimes they find nothing in their expedition, while other times their patience is rewarded with something out of this world. In today's video, we will introduce 7 weird things caught in the ocean. Let's dive in. Number 7. Blobfish. Let's start this list of strange things caught in the ocean with the notorious blobfish that made rounds on the internet a couple of years ago. The blobfish, known for its hideous appearance, is definitely the hunchback of the ocean. If you look closely, the blobfish looks like Uncle Fester from the Addams family, but was apparently found in Australia, the Down Under. A team of 12 scientists spent 4 weeks in search of sea creatures around Norfolk and Lord Howe Island, netting around 100 different new species. On the way back, one of the researchers noticed a sad blob-looking fish sliding around the floor of the ship as the ship rocked back and forth at sea. There was a strange-looking parasite drooping to the side of its mouth, suggesting that the fish consumes crustaceans and other parasites. Blobfish is considered to be one of the laziest fishes to exist, as it waits around for the food to come to them and eats only whatever is floating near them. You might be thinking we're being a bit too harsh on the sea critter, but you wouldn't be surprised at all when we say the next phrase. The blobfish won the title of World's Ugliest Animal in 2013 and cannot be found in any aquariums since the species is said to be an endangered animal. Many often get caught in fish trawler nets, often dying as bycatch. The blobfish does not have any swimmer bladder, but uses the water and its texture to drift atop the seabed. However, movements make them a target to larger predators. Therefore, most of the time, blobfishes have adapted to remaining still for long periods of time. The fish is so rare that only 1 specimen was found and is displayed in a jar of alcohol in the Australian Museum. Nobody is sure about its gender too, since it requires dissection. So, Mr. Blobby could turn out to be Miss Blobby. You never know. Number 6. Mola Mola. This does sound like a welcoming drink that you get served at a reception in Hawaii, but we assure you, it's not even close. The Molamola is considered to be the heaviest bonefish, weighing at an average 2,200 pounds. Mola is the Latin word meaning large gray round object. It's definitely not the most creative of names, but hey, its English name is a bit fancier. Molamola, or most commonly known as ocean sunfish in English, gets its name from floating close to the surface of the ocean so that seabirds can pick parasites from its skin. Mola Mola can be found in warm and temperate waters off of Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. The mola fish can span across 8.2 feet by 5.9 feet and can grow even larger than that. So far, only 3 different species of the mola fish has been discovered, with 1 discovery recently in 2017. The heaviest mola fish was caught in 1996, weighing more than 5,000 pounds. For comparison purposes, that's more than the average rhino. The weight was so much that the speed of the ship it was on dropped from 14 knots to 11 knots. The fish had rough skin, scraping off paint from the ship's deck, leaving exposed metal. Yikes, that's one tough fish. The female mola fish takes another record home as it produces more eggs than any other vertebrae on Earth, 300 million a pop. Since the molas are related to the pufferfish, the younglings are protected in a star-like casing, sometimes seen in the Aliens trilogy. The casing disappears as the younglings mature, and their spine becomes much shorter relative to their body. Molas move around the ocean by flapping their dorsal and anal fins. Yes, they use their butt to steer through the waters. Their main source of nutrients are jellyfishes and zooplankton. However, mola molas also enjoy eating squids, sponges, eels, larvae, and more. Number 5. Viperfish. Let's take it up a notch from here. We've seen the ugly and hideous. Time to bring out the ferocious-looking ones, the viperfish. These are the most intimidating-looking fishes in the sea. Luckily, they're not large in size. Only spanning across 12 inches, the viperfish is indeed a small fish in a big sea. Although small, the viperfish shouldn't be taken lightly, as it's also considered to be one of the fiercest. The fish can easily be recognized by its sharp, long, protruded teeth that they use for impaling their victims. It's very unique, as the viperfish has a light-producing organ that it uses to lure prey in. The main light organ is located at the end of the dorsal fin. However, it has many more light organs spread across the side of the fish. What's more impressive is that the fish is smart. It uses the light to attract clueless grubs while also using the light to blend in with the filtering light coming in the sea. This helps them camouflage in the waters, hiding in plain sight from the much bigger fishes deep under. The viperfish waits in silence as it flickers its light, which looks like a lantern hanging from a fishing pole. As the smaller fishes take the bait, the viperfish rams them into the darkness, using its teeth to grab onto its next meal. During the day, viperfish can be found hiding in deep waters, while in the night, when it's in hunting mode, the viperfish makes its way to shallow waters to find food. Number 4. Giant isopods. Looking like something from the old sci-fi alien action movies, the giant isopods are 100% real. Referred to as roaches or bugs of the ocean, the giant isopod, without a doubt, is one of the strangest creatures to be found. Growing up to 16 inches, these creatures are the largest isopods existing on Earth. Giant isopods are not consumed by many people, but places like Thailand, Taiwan, and other Asian countries fish for giant isopods as they're considered to be delicacies. The giant isopod is affected by deep-sea gigantism, a phenomenon that suggests that deep-sea creatures grow to be much larger since their bodies evolve under immense pressure of the sea. The giant isopods are the largest members of the crustacean family and has a rough exterior that it uses for protecting itself from predators. It curves into a strong ball-like figure, allowing it to protect its vulnerable underside. The giant isopod has adapted to the harsh realities of living deep on the seafloor. It eats whatever falls from above, mostly dead whales, squid, and fishes, making it a carnivorous animal. It has a complex mouth with many different components working in synergy, allowing it to pierce and shred its food. Giant isopods also feed on slow-moving creatures like sea cucumbers. Since food is scarce, the giant isopod has adapted to such conditions and is able to survive for 8 weeks at a stretch without any food. They might look creepy, but they're harmless to humans, so you can take a deep breath and a sigh of relief. Number 3. Tongue-eating louse. This one will give you nightmares even thinking about it. A couple of researchers were working on studying a wrasse skull when one of the evolutionary biologists noticed something out of the ordinary. Upon further inspection, what they found was truly terrifying. A louse had eaten the fish's tongue, but the strangest thing was that it had not only eaten the tongue, but replaced it instead. Having to see a bug-like creature in place of a tongue would have any researcher shudder. The tongue-eating louse is a new discovery, hence not much is known about it. Corey Evans, assistant professor at the Department of Biosciences at Rice University, made this startling discovery when he was studying scans of hundreds of species of wrasse for his project. After going through 200 scans of fish images, Evans stumbled upon a scan, noticing that the mouth of the fish seemed full, and the scan revealed that a bug had crawled up in there. This seemed quite odd for Evans, since wrasse fish are vegetarian, so a bug in the mouth would suggest that the bug voluntarily made its way in there. Upon a closer look, Evans found out that the bug belonged to a crustacean family and was a parasitic isopod. If you're easily disgusted or terrified, then we suggest skipping this part. The tongue-eating louse infiltrates the animal by entering through its gill and finding the tongue where it can settle. It slowly damages the blood vessels, which releases blood on which the louse feeds. As the tongue runs out of blood, it eventually drops, leaving the louse to replace the tongue. Many thought that the louse preferred snapperfish, so it came as an even bigger surprise to Evans when he discovered it in the mouth of a wrasse fish, which is vegetarian. There is not much known about the tongue-eating louse, besides that they're freaky parasites. It's not a single parasite that makes its way to the tongue, but many. Now you may be wondering, who gets the honor to replace the tongue? It's the female that takes the place of the tongue. However, if a female is not present at the time, then a male tongue-eating louse will change its sex. Yes, you thought it couldn't get any freakier than this? The louse is born as both a male and a female, being able to transform whenever it's appropriate. Number 2. Redlipped BatFish. Redlipped BatFish is one interesting sea creature that you may not have heard of. It gets its name from the overly large mouth it has relative to its body size. The redlipped, as you would have guessed, has plum red lips, just like the ones found on your childhood Mr. Potato Head. Some may even compare the red-lipped batfish's appearance to that of a couple of Twizzlers melting in the sun. The fish grows up to 25 centimeters in size, and the tip of its tongue sticks out of its odd-sized mouth, with scientists suggesting the mouth appearance is to attract fishes for mating purposes. Imagine two red-lipped batfishes making out with their open mouths. On second thought, you don't want to imagine that. The red-lipped batfish is a weak swimmer, so it needs to depend on other ways of moving around. The batfish's body shares resemblance with a bat and has both pectoral and pelvic fins. The fins are used to scurry the creature along the floor of the ocean, while it uses its anal fin to propel it forward. The batfish features include elysium, the protruding thing coming out of the middle of its face. They use elysium to attract their prey just like an anglerfish does. The red-lipped batfish is carnivorous by nature and feeds on small crustaceans and fishes at the bottom of the ocean. It is said that these fishes have a lifespan of approximately 12 years. If there were any awards given for the most unique-looking fish, then the batfish, with its natural frown, penis-shaped protruding elysium, and smaller than its mouth body, takes the win any time of the day. Number 1. Northern Stargazer. This is the last animal on our list that makes it into the strangest things caught in the ocean. And no, it's not an astrology profession. This is a fish. The Northern Stargazer indeed has a really cool name, but nothing about the fish is cute. The fish is flat and has a large dotted body with an even larger mouth. It can be found in the Chesapeake Bay's deep waters. The Northern Stargazer grows to be about 22 inches in length and has a blackish-brown body that can easily be distinguished from other fishes because of the white spots. The fish's appearance turns weird as you go towards its face, with its eyes and mouth facing upwards on top of its large head. Northern Stargazer's large mouth enables them to suck in their prey as they wait silently in the sand. The right fin is used as a shovel, as it quickly shoves sand away, making a hiding place for themselves. Their mouth and eyes are exposed so that they can see any incoming targets. When they lock eyes on their target, the fish opens its mouth and, just like a vacuum, suck its prey into oblivion, in this case, their stomach. So, what do Northern Stargazers do when it's the prey instead of the predator? This is pretty cool, actually. The fish has an organ on its head that delivers an electric charge to shock, paralyze, or ward off predators. Now you may be wondering, what's so terrifying about it? Well, hold on to your fins. The Northern Stargazer is able to open its mouth so wide that it truly looks terrifying. They do this whenever they feel threatened and they need to fight. Two Northern Stargazers can be seen going at each other with wide mouths, trying to dominate each other to win the fight. It definitely looks like a screaming vampire when it opens its mouth. Thanks for watching! Do you think there are any other fishes that we missed out and deserves to be on our list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye!